Welcome, everyone. We have Caden Allen here with us. He is 16 years old in 11th grade. He is from Kentucky or lives in Kentucky, and he's been playing cornhole for about a year and a half. You may have seen him at the Cincinnati Open. He won the blind draw with Brandon Mabilia in a very stacked Open. So not an easy feat. I remember seeing Caden. I was driving and Nick had the phone and I heard the name and I was like, hey, that's one of our Kids Throw 2 kids. I'm so excited for you. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I mean, did you know Brandon prior to that Open?
I'd never met him, but I have heard of him before.
So you knew you had a good partner.
Yes.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody loves that blind draw pick when they hear the name that they feel like can help get them to the end, right?
I knew I'd make it pretty far when I seen I had him.
Yeah.
So you're from Kentucky. You ever play with like the guys or?
I've never played against them, but we do play in the same conference tournaments and state championships and stuff like that.
In the blind draw, what were a team or two that you were like, ooh, that's going to be a tough one?
Definitely Ron Windsor and Damon Dennis.
Yeah.
That's probably the only one that I was kind of nervous about playing just because they're number 2 and number 3 in the world last year.
Yeah, no big deal.
So, I mean, I would think the fact that they got paired up together is some fluke of nature. But you guys clearly got it done, right? Who else were some of the really tough ones that you had to beat in order to get there to the end?
Terry Mathis and his partner Mason. I don't remember his last name, but it was like 21-19.
Yeah, close one.
And then we played Zane Brown and my doubles partner Ben Brown actually.
Oh, nice.
The Brown team. So what you said, I heard in your bio that you have been playing for only about a year and a half. How'd you get into it?
COVID. It shut everything down and we just started playing at a friend's house 5 days a week. Went to a local draw and picked it up from there.
Do you have it? Are some of your buddies, like your close friends, are they also cornhole players?
Yes.
That's
nice.
So cool.
It really is, because a lot of times, like when I first got into it, I didn't have any girlfriends that were playing. You know, it's nice if you already have like this group of friends who all like doing it too. Do you travel a lot for it?
Yes, all the time.
Really?
How does that work with school?
Well, our school has like an online option, so you can opt in for that too.
Nice. That's perfect.
Conducive towards competitive cornhole playing, I guess.
Absolutely. That makes it possible, which I don't think that was such an option before COVID, was it?
Do you play any other sports?
No, just cornhole.
Just cornhole. Just put all your eggs in a basket. That you'll probably be pretty good.
Do you think since you do have quite a few friends that also play, like, is this something you could see happening in your high school at some point, or in high schools in general? Like, that's one of our goals.
I could in the near future. That would be pretty cool to have like an organized team.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be something to.
What about your parents, Caden? Are they do they throw bags at all?
My mom throws. My dad doesn't throw so much.
Oh, how funny!
Just watch me play, he says.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine in high school being the top cornhole player? You're like big man or big woman on campus because you're the top cornhole player. Like, that's such a different dynamic than the one exists right now.
It would have been cool, but I can't imagine being the top cornhole player at any phase in life.
No, I can't either. But can you imagine like the person that's the best? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Caden, you'd be like, are you like top probably in your school with your friends and stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so you'd be like big man on campus, Caden Allen, cornhole player.
That's so cool. Well, so obviously you like cornhole because you win and you're good at it, I guess. There's lots of reasons, like logistically, you can pretty much play anywhere. It doesn't take like a whole team to get together to do it. But like, what else is it about that cornhole in general? Because you don't play any other sports, so this one must have appealed enough to you to really, make it your main, thing, hobby or activity. So what do you think it is that, besides the fact that you just have natural raw talent, that makes you enjoy it?
Probably the people. Everyone in cornhole is really nice.
Yeah.
And you meet a lot of new friends all the time.
Yeah.
It really is unique in that way.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Oh, go ahead. I'm guessing you were pretty bummed when, as were many kids, when they heard, that the DraftKings partnership with the ACL was going to result in that age limit to go into the pro circuit, which is understandable. We say it all the time. Nobody wants to be betting on minors. But you were probably really bummed about that. Did you ever think before Kids 102 came along, obviously to offer a competitive division, but before that, did you ever consider not doing it anymore just because you couldn't compete at like those to the highest level?
No, I actually planned on playing in a college tournament, so I wasn't upset about it at all.
That's perfect.
It is perfect.
Into college, scholarship paid for and all that.
So that's a really good feedback for us to know, Caden, because that can kind of guide us on how we use KidStar too, right? Like if our goal could be to help the kids get into the college tournaments and the championships, then that's one way we could organize it, as opposed to going, because the pro thing's not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to pick a college though, Caden, where you got a buddy who's really good, who goes to the same college you do, because the way the college, the college circuit works is that you have to bring a partner from your same college.
Well, the guy I play with in Cincinnati, he'll be a senior when I'm a freshman. So we get to play 1 year together.
That's awesome.
Well, you get the 1 year.
And then maybe more if he decides to go to wherever you are.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. I think the college, I got to go see it played out recently at the Virginia Tech game. And when you get to see it in person, it's really interesting. Like it's a different dynamic, a different feel, but it's still got the same bones of the pro circuit. It's cool. And a lot of fun people like your age, like, whereas in other divisions of cornhole, like if you go to an open, let's say, you could get paired or be surrounded by people who are all different ages. But this one's like unique because it's like all the kids are, they have the same things that are going on in their life, basically.
Yeah, that is fun about that. I would agree.
What's your bag choice?
Character 77s.
Oh, nice.
I actually have right here. These are my customs.
And so how many?
A planet?
What is it?
The lighting's weird.
Space.
It's space. Okay, yeah.
Space. Okay.
That's cool.
Well, did you go through a lot of bags trying them out before you decided this one's your go-to?
Probably just Game Changers was what I threw before. And then I found these and they played kind of the same, and they're a little slower. So
yeah, they are slower. And I found the Character 77s, it's a bigger template, like a Game Changer, at least in my hand it is. So I could see the progression there. That's a great bag, and it's a great price. I've
never tried it. So are you a roller or a slider? What's your sorry, you cut out what?
I like the block.
The block.
Okay.
But I roll some.
Well, then that's the best. That's the best way. Then block and roll. Block.
I know, but that's I would assume a harder bag to roll.
Yeah. Because it's
it is, and it's big. I don't know. It just seems like it would be like I've seen Frank Mullen roll a Game Changer, and it just looks funny to me because it doesn't look like it's supposed to roll. It's just different. So let me ask you this: we are on the Around the ACL episode this week. Mike Morton was offering these fun statistics, and one of the things he was talking about is if you are down or up at 11 points. So whoever's winning, whoever's the first to 11, like what is the likelihood that you are going to go on to then win that game opposed to the person who was down under 11, obviously at that point. And it was a crazy high percentage of likelihood that whoever gets to 11 first is going to go on to take the win of that game. So I think that's important because it's all about the mentality of if you're down, that's not going to help me knowing that to get to psych myself, back into the game. So do you ever have trouble? Like if you do get down in the beginning, are you the kind of person, I think there's two types of people, like I kind of shut down and I'm like, oh, I've already lost it. But then other people, they play better when they're down. I know Carrie Mittermiller. Yeah.
No, I'd say the game's not over until you get 21. So.
Well, technically, yes, this is true, but
if that's his mantra, then
Mhm.
that keeps you going. Where it's not as discouraging because you're like, who cares what they're at because they're not 21.
Yeah,
Do you like singles or doubles better?
singles.
Really?
Yes.
Because why do you think that is?
It gets you better on both sides of the board, where you're walking back and forth, not just staying on one side in double.
It is true. That people who are really good at doubles sometimes at least like in the lower levels can't do anything at singles because
Well,
they're
it's a
just
different
not used to.
rhythm too, right? Like, so
Mhm.
at league last week, there was people who left in the middle of the tournament. I know it's just like a Thursday night tournament, but they didn't tell people they left. So I got up with someone that wasn't there, so I had to walk. And I
Ghost, yeah.
felt like I had an advantage over the other two because I never stopped throwing, right? So it's like they're throwing doubles, I'm throwing singles, and I'm just walking. Like I'm never really stopping to throw. So there's a rhythm.
It's
I
true.
think,
It's true. And it's
too.
the same thing they say if for the people who within the bracket they have that downtime and then
Yeah.
the person they end up getting paired with later on has been playing and playing and playing, like maybe trying to get like double dip back up from the losers.
King seat can be, I don't know, that's a good question. Do you feel like ever the king seat can be a disadvantage because you have to sit so long?
Yes, definitely.
So when you're in the king seat, like and waiting for whoever's going to come play you, are you out throwing or are you watching?
About 20 minutes before I think I'm going to play, I start to throw just to get my rhythm back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what Stephen Burnissett told me in Virginia Beach. He said, because his partner was out there, Tom was just throwing away, like, while they were waiting to go onto the broadcast. And I was like, Stephen, what's going on, dude? You're going to make him do all the work when you guys get out there? And he said, no, my arm will hurt. Like I will do myself a disservice if I keep throwing like that much. That's not my thing. He said 20 minutes before is what I do. So
Yeah.
must be a good strategy.
Well, thank God for the double dip at least. So if you are a little cold in that first game, you still have the second one.
It is very true. And that's why it's designed so, perfectly. What do you think is your biggest struggle in the game right now?
Getting mad at myself. If I make a bad shot, sometimes I'll get mad and I'll start to lose focus.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need to work.
I mean, how do you work on that?
I don't know.
Blinders. like the horses have in the race.
That's an emotional reaction. I don't know how you could, change your emotion. Your emotions are your emotions, And I saw somebody posted their son got second, like a little guy, like maybe 8, just this morning or something. And in the podium pick, he's like this.
Because he wanted first.
Yes. And I'm thinking like, and someone put like, you need to be a humble loser. And it's like, but your emotions are your emotions,
Yeah. And you know what? I kind of think it's cool that he didn't celebrate second place because he's hungry for first. Cool. Always strive for the top. But as long as he didn't kick and throw and stomp, you got to have some kind of sportsmanship. But what other hobbies do you have? Or like, is there a certain kind of music or show you're really into when you're not playing cornhole?
I like to watch Netflix a lot.
What exactly? Netflix has a lot of things on there. Caden, what kind of things specifically do you go to?
Sci-fi shows.
Nice.
Science stuff.
Cool. You got any one of them in particular? I always like to get this answer because then I put it on a list of ones to check out.
I don't know if it really counts, but Stranger Things.
That's what I was going to guess with Stranger Things.
Probably my favorite show.
I've still never seen it, but I know that it has that vibe from what I've been told.
Did you watch Squid Games?
I watched the first couple episodes, but I never got into it.
It's a lot.
Remember when we were interviewing My Cup and we asked her about like, how she handles losing and that kind of thing. And she said, she tells herself this like wasn't my game. And the other thing that Mike Morton told us, and I think it was actually off air when we were recording around the ACL, that I thought was a really great way to think about it. He said, cornhole's kind of like a big like lottery. It's like everyone has a certain like raffle tickets. And if you're really good, you have more raffle tickets in. So your chances of winning are higher. Mm-hmm. But it's still almost like a raffle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you practice all the time and you have a good amount of skill, you've got more tickets in the pot. So you'll probably get selected as the winner. But
But if
essentially,
there's
like,
no guarantee that your ticket's the one full,
yeah, your
it's a
talent
great
skill is not the
analogy.
whole thing.
Yes, I think it's a great analogy, and it's also completely probably why their slogan makes so much sense. Anybody can play, anybody can win, because all it takes is one day where you are on your best game,
Mhm.
and somebody who's always usually better than you, outthrowing you, is on their not so best game.
Yeah.
Take home the win. So it's like
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
addicting in that way, because you could always go out there and clinch it.
But I was wondering if that would be a couple other ways you could think about it, Caden, to help when you're getting like frustrated with yourself, is either saying like, like that throw wasn't my throw or whatever, like that wasn't it. It's fine. It's no big deal. And piggybacking on, if you don't win, like, well, that just wasn't my game to win, or it's like up to the raffle gods. I put a lot of good raffle tickets in there. I didn't get chosen.
What is your practice routine, Caden? Because you're in school and you just had school today. You got out at 3. Like, do you come straight home, get a snack, and go throw, or what?
I'll do homework if I have it, and then I'll go outside and throw till dark.
Good for you. Good for you on both fronts. The homework first.
Yeah, you didn't ask me about that, Whitney. You just said food.
The teacher and me should have. But I like that responsibility. Throwing till dark is pretty cool, but we got to get you some lights, because then you could even throw after.
Yeah.
Do you go to how many times a week, if at all, do you travel to like a actual league or tournament, in your area?
Probably 3 days a week.
Oh, wow. So that's your practice right there.
Yeah,
Don't you feel like it's better practice to play a whole variety of people versus just throwing out there on your own?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. But I feel like I need to keep playing to get better. So when I'm out at those tournaments, I'll be in the backyard playing.
Cool.
Being this dedicated to this sport, I'm like you, Caden. I've never played any other sports, or I don't play any other sports. I shouldn't say you would never have. But the amount of dedication, like if you're not already playing other sports, it could be a different mentality. Like, what makes you so committed and dedicated to this specific one?
I just like to win. I want to try and win at everything I do. And I don't know, it's just something about it that I like. It's hard to explain.
Are you super competitive in like all areas of your life? Even with grades, like, do you always want to be the one who's getting the best grades in the class, or no?
Well, I like to have good grades, but I don't want to compete with anybody over that, because anybody can get good grades.
Yeah.
It's not one takes it all. So that helps.
So what do you, it sounds like kind of a cliche question, but what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a.
Did you say doctor? It cut out.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess that when you said the sci-fi stuff and you like science, I was thinking maybe what kind of doctor? Anything in particular you're thinking?
A spine surgeon.
It's very specific.
Yeah, he definitely had thought about it before we asked him this question. That's awesome, because even then, if you could still play cornhole and then have like some kind of a PT, physical therapy contacts in your database, if in case you ever got hurt, because you probably refer your patient.
Why that specific field?
Because I had back surgery about 3 years ago.
Oh.
Spine surgery. So me having that makes me want to do that as a job.
And that was like life-changing for you?
I had scoliosis and they put rods down my back, my spine.
What was the recovery time for that?
I was back in school in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, wow. But could you move so you weren't playing cornhole back when that happened, right?
No.
Well, cornhole is a great thing for people who do get any kind of surgery, though, because it's not a lot of wear and tear on the body compared to, some of the other more impact driven sports. But, do you ever get cornholed out? You're like, no, I just don't feel like playing cornhole today.
No, I like it. I like it too much to get burnt out on it.
It's such a weird phenomenon. I don't know what it is about cornhole. It's so weird. But that's what everybody says. Very rarely does somebody say they get cornholed out. It is like this strange thing. And I know obviously the Ohio, the Open you just did, like how many hours were you playing?
Like throughout the day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got there at probably 4:30 and we didn't get in bed, or we didn't get back until about 1.
Yeah.
So it was a long time.
It's a lot of throwing bags.
I mean, those are the longest days ever. When you get home, are you just like you sleep for like 12 straight hours?
After a big tournament like that, I do sleep a lot.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Do you play video games?
I used to, but not so much anymore.
Good for you. He's getting so responsible. Not that video games are bad at all. But you know, you can't spend your life in front of a video game. What about who are some of your pros that you really look up to or admire, whether it be for their skill or just who they are as a person?
Nate Stevens, probably. He lives about 20 minutes from me, and we play a lot of tournaments together.
No, that's cool.
We're actually playing
That's a good little crew.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you're in the same area as Hallie Seiler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, Kentucky's got some
That's a great
stacked
little crew
talent.
right there.
Yeah.
I know, it's so cool.
And
I think
Langworthy, right? Langworthy's over there too.
He's about 45 minutes from my house.
So how often do you play like with or against them at things?
Probably every regional.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you have a nemesis, like somebody who you keep trying to beat, but you can't?
I've beat everybody in the area at least once, but I've been beat more by Nate than anybody.
Okay, so that's the bar.
All right, Nate, he's coming for you, Nate.
Coming for you. He wants to beat you more than just once, that's for sure.
All right, well, I want to ask a couple things non-cornhole related. If you had to pick one thing to give up between music, TV, and movies, what are you going to pick?
TV.
Okay. You got any other fun questions? What about if you could visit one place in the world?
Probably somewhere over in Europe, Italy, Paris. On there.
Have you been to Europe before?
No.
Oh, that's so fun.
What's your favorite food?
Orange chicken.
Nice.
Whoa, that's so specific.
Orange chicken is delicious.
What's your all-time favorite movie? Or I know this is a hard question. I hate when people ask me that, but you can give me like two.
Remember the Titans is probably up there.
Great movie. Great
That's a
movie.
great movie.
Any other ones?
Grown Ups.
Grown ups.
It's a great one too. What kind of music do you listen to?
Well, I listen to a little bit of everything. Whatever's on the radio. I don't really have a specific style that I like. Like a little bit of.
Is there anything that you could tell us about you that's like kind of unique or like a fun fact or a hidden talent?
People.
Yeah, that way we'd be like, whoa, really? That's so cool. Or interesting.
I spun a cornhole bag on my finger for 6.5 minutes before.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
That's insane.
One might ask why, but
did you look to see if there's a Guinness Book World Record for that?
I might need to try and set one.
You should definitely write in to them because like they will put a record in there for just about anything.
Yeah.
If you can just prove that you're the best, that you're the one who can do it the most or the longest. That's a very good one. And do you think
are you driving, Caden?
Yeah, I can get my license in 2 weeks.
Nice.
That's exciting.
Freedom.
Is that because is your birthday coming up or no? That's just when the law says you can get it.
My birthday is in January and I can get the license December 2nd. So
nice.
There's about a month in between.
Are you excited?
Yes, but I'm a little nervous.
Well,
yeah.
Naturally.
Well, do you have your learner's permit right now? Yeah. How is it driving like with mom and dad in the car just breathing down your neck?
They're not so bad about it anymore. But when I first started, they were saying every little thing.
Well, can you blame them? Yeah, can you blame us? I mean, I can't even imagine.
People are backseat drivers to experienced drivers. So obviously they're going to be backseat drivers to inexperienced drivers.
I think it's kind of crazy that we just like, there's not like some kind of virtual like place where you can learn it virtually.
Like when you learn to fly. There's a simulator when you learn to fly. You don't just put someone on an airplane and be like, all right, let's see how we do. And there's a co-pilot as well. You know what I mean? Yes, it does seem like the process of driving could be elevated.
All right, I'm going to ask him if you could like hang out with one famous person. It could be famous for sports, famous for, being a movie star or whatever. Yeah. singer. Who would you pick?
Um,
Dead or
Probably
alive?
Adam
Dead.
Sandler.
Adam Sandler. That's a
Oh my
great
God,
one.
that's a great one.
God, you're a
And-
cool kid, Caden.
Not only because Adam Sandler is hilarious and like a great actor, and I would have so many questions for him about a lot of things that have to do with his career, but also just because he seems like he'd be just an awesome person.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
Like,
Yeah,
somebody
it's
fun
like,
to hang out with. just
you
in
know,
general.
it would be a fun day, no matter
Oh
what.
yeah, it'd be a fun day.
Although I think by the end of the day, I'd be so over the voices, probably.
I'm sure he doesn't do that in normal life.
Can you imagine?
Acting is elevated. You watch a comedian, I mean, it is like the elevated, right? Or the exaggerated. They don't usually, they don't
Yeah.
walk and talk in that manner.
And then if you do you have any other hobbies that we haven't mentioned or any other interests besides science?
I like baseball, but I don't play it
Yeah, but you like watching it?
sometimes.
Who's your favorite sports team, like professional sports team?
The Cincinnati Reds.
Really?
Oh, okay.
How did
Oh,
you
yeah,
pick
'cause
them?
Well, they're close, and
Yep.
they were my first baseball game that I went to. So
Yeah.
it kind of just grew on me.
So since you're not driving now, not yet, and you're traveling so much, who's taking you to all this stuff?
Me and Nate go to tournaments together.
And he drives?
Yeah.
And that's
Nice.
that's so,
So
good for
fun.
your parents, because usually
was.
usually when your kids are in sports, man, you got to take them everywhere, and it's like a whole like full-time job for you as the parent. So how nice to be able to like, oh good, you.
I know.
You're
I
already
know.
going. Just
We
take
need to find Adrian Brunson, a like 18-year-old.
no, Anthony goes to all of them. So I mean, his dad plays at the same level as he does. So it's fine.
Oh,
But he has a full-time job. So
Yeah.
there's that aspect.
it's not as easy. Do you think that kids have a little bit of an advantage long term in terms of dominating this sport, Caden? Because as y'all are growing and getting better at it, you have so much more free time, kind of than because you don't have a mortgage to pay or
a family
Yeah.
or a
a
job.
kids to raise.
Yes, kids definitely have an advantage because you don't have a job, you don't have any responsibilities,
Mhm.
and you'll keep growing with the game as it goes on.
Yeah, it's true. I totally agree. I think that is such a not that adults with a full-time job and kids can't compete. Obviously, we see it all the time, but it's going to be interesting to watch as this sport grows. The kids starting so young, like my son starting at the age of 4, and I know Tony Smith was somewhere around there at that
Mhm.
early stage, and just watching how so many of them do that.
Well, Caden, you'll be excited to learn. We did interview somebody who's going to be on our next week's Girls 32 episode, and he is like a physical research or a sports psychologist and researcher. And he told us that when it comes to your peak of precision age, so like the age when you are going to kind of, I guess, theoretically be the most precise in your ability to throw that bag into the hole, is 23 to 25. So if you're this good now, just imagine. Just imagine.
I love
But
it.
then it's all downhill from there.
No, don't
I'm
say
just kidding.
that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Just
kidding. It's just
do a
a
lot
little
in
harder.
those years.
Yeah,
That's all.
capitalize on your youth within
And
the
that's
sport.
right when you would theoretically be graduating college. That's perfect timing.
Yeah, because
or
you know
I
what,
guess
there's probably
even-
not a lot of time for cornhole when you're in med school.
I was gonna say that's when you graduate undergrad. You obviously
Right.
have many more years in your doctorate. But anyways, it's been so great to have you on. We are so excited to have you part of the Kids Throw 2 team. It was so fun, like I said, watching you in that open and just having known your name just a few days before that, and then seeing you perform so well. I mean, it's great to watch these kids just kill it out there.
Gotta keep an eye on them because they're just going nowhere but up.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you so much, Caden.
Thank you.